The All-Star 2023 promo has finally arrived with Giannis and LeBron James as your two Grandmasters for the promo, but there are a bunch of other Masters in which you can get, and you can get all of them for absolutely free if you are willing to put in the effort. And how do you go about doing that? Well, you take a look at the limited time event and you'll notice it's kind of split up into three separate sections. You got this section on the left-hand side, which is basically going to give you a certain amount of tokens for every event you play through. Then you got your section sort of along the bottom over here on the right-hand side, which is going to give you a certain amount of points, and then you go ahead and spend those points to get yourself the players on the court over here. You got your LeBron James side and your Giannis side to get those Masters. You'll notice the 90 overall Masters are going to cost you 20,000 points to get, whereas the 89 overall Masters only cost you 15,000 points to get. And then if you look at Giannis and of course LeBron James, you're going to need to get yourself 3 players from those specific sides. So for LeBron James, 3 Team LeBron players unlock the offer to get yourself LeBron James. So he's also going to require an extra 40,000 points to get, and it's exactly the same for Giannis over here. 3 players from his side, and then you unlock the offer to get him for 40,000 points. There's also some reserves you can pick up anywhere above 86 overall, and that is going to cost you 6,500 points. You can get that on LeBron's side, and of course the same can be said for Giannis's side over there. But you'll probably be looking to try and get yourself some of the starters like Steph Curry, Kyrie Irving, KD, all of these guys you will be trying to get, and of course trying to get LeBron James and Giannis, but you are going to have to put in a lot of effort in order to get them. And the very first thing I recommend you go ahead and play through is these events on the left hand side. These are going to help you get through the promo as quickly as possible, and it's basically split into 2 sections. Again, you got on the left hand side the Rising Star Rookie event, and then on the right hand side you got your Rising Star Sophomore event. Now on the very first time you play through this, it's going to give you 2 packs. The first one is going to be a random amount of tokens. I don't know exactly how many it's meant to give out, but it is just completely random. Sometimes you can get 1, sometimes you can get 7, maybe even 11. It is pretty much random in what you can get. The second pack is just going to be on that first win, and that is going to give you a guaranteed 6 tokens. But the really good thing about all of these events is they are completely repeatable. You can play them again and again and again to keep getting yourself a certain amount of tokens. And again, this one will give you a random amount of tokens. One time you could get 3, the other time you could get 6. There is no way of judging just how many tokens you're going to get. Just play through them as many times as possible. It doesn't have to just be the rookie one, could be the sophomore one, it doesn't matter. Make sure you're getting as many tokens as possible, using those stamina refill bottles, using your ads to get stamina, using the stuff in the ultimate store to get stamina. Make sure you're getting through as much stamina and playing through as many events as possible, because that will get you some good tokens, which we'll go on to later in the set how you can use them. Along the other side, you can see these events are also fairly useful. They are going to give you a certain amount of points. Again, you could get 25 points, you could get 75 points, possibly even 100 points. It doesn't say any sort of chances of you being able to get a certain amount of points. Make sure you're playing through every single event. There's one for the point guard, shooting guard, and all through the positions. Once you've got through all of those, you will be in a good place getting a good amount of points. You can see I've played through 4 events over there, and I've played through the top one, and I'm already at 860 points over there. You'll notice the very top one is going to give you 600 all-star points guaranteed, and it's also going to have a chance at getting an all-star player. And if you do get lucky enough to get an all-star player, that is going to be very useful. This event only costs you 75 stamina to play through, and it does reset daily, so make sure you're making use of that one and getting the event done. All of these events reset every single 24 hours, so that is going to be very useful, except for this one. This one is going to be basically you spending no stamina at all, playing through the event, and it is a pick'em. Now, what I really recommend you do if you are looking to get a ton of stamina from this, you can see if you get it right, you get 500 stamina. If you get it wrong, you get 250 stamina. Basically, play through the event, save the pack to your bench, and then open it when the all-star game is done and select the team that has won. That's going to be the easiest way of doing it. If you want to just go ahead and open it straight away, then that is entirely up to you, but that's going to be a good way of getting yourself a good amount of stamina. Obviously, you won't be able to use it in this event because you only get that claimed after the event is done, so it's not really going to be helpful for this one, but it might help you in future events. But going back to these sort of tokens you're getting on the left hand side, they can be used in the sets, and we'll scroll all the way down to the bottom over here because I don't know why they're at the bottom, but they are. What you can see is 2 sets to use to exchange your tokens. There's this one, which is the Rising Stars Rookie Player set, and as you can see, I've got 43 tokens just by playing through those 4 events on those first wins. I haven't played them any more times than once throughout, so that's 4 events, getting myself 43 tokens and getting myself one of these packs. This one's going to give you anywhere between an 80 overall player and an 82 overall player. We get ourselves an 80 overall player on the lower end over there, so as you can see, the more players you get, the more points you'll get, and we'll go on to that in a second. It's exactly the same for the Rising Stars Sophomore set over here. Anywhere between an 80 to 82 overall player, the higher the overall, the better it's going to be. To a certain extent, we get ourselves an 80 overall, so that's not going to be a great deal of use, but it is still useful nonetheless. As you can see, to use these players to get yourself points, there are two sets you can use. There's this one over here, which is going to require an 80 overall, 81 overall and an 82 overall player to get yourself 3,000 points straight away. Now this one is repeatable, it has no cooldown on it at all, and the same goes for this one. It has no cooldown on it, it is repeatable, whereas this one's going to require 6 players anywhere between 80 and I'm guessing 82 as well. It says 81, but I'm sure it will let you put in 82 players as well. So the benefit of doing this one is, of course, it costs less players, but you are going to need that 82 overall player, which is going to be a little bit trickier to pull, but maybe you get lucky enough to do that. I recommend you try and do this set as many times as possible, because it's less players being put in to get yourself the same amount of points. So that's going to be very useful to do. Obviously, if you do need to do set, you can maybe work out at some points during the promo whether you can exchange 380 to 81 overall players to get yourself a guaranteed 82. Whether that works out you spending less players in order to claim up this set as many times as possible, because you've got to be smart with how you're using your players, because the players, of course, are what you're using to exchange in return for those all-star points, and then you're exchanging the all-star points to get all-star starters, and it basically works like that. So that's why the tokens are really useful, and the fact that those events are repeatable are literally a gold mine in helping you get through this promo and get as many points as possible. So I can't really stress that enough. Make sure you're playing through as many events as possible, because that is going to end up getting you LeBron James or the Giannis Antetokounmpo. If you go into the store, there isn't really too much you can buy. There's a couple of packs on the right hand side. There's this one, which is a coin offer. This one can drain your coins quite a bit. It is 30k coins, 10 packs a day for 200 all-star points per turn. So that is in total 2,000 all-star points a day. You can purchase that, but it is going to cost you 300k coins, which is quite a bit. If you got the coins, you might be looking to do this. It is a decent amount of points, and it will certainly help you getting through and getting closer to Giannis and that LeBron James as well. You can also watch an advert underneath that to get yourself a random rising star token. So that is one of those either sophomore ones or the rookie ones. It is going to be completely random which one you get. There's a BOGO offer for 400 all-star points for 250 NBA cash. Again, you can purchase that one if you want to, just to get a couple more all-star points. There is also a bundle which is going to give you some guaranteed players and some points, and there are some extra store exclusive masters which you can buy for real money. These ones are going to be 87 overall, and they give a 5% boost to all-star points. So if you do get one of these players, make sure you're sticking it on your lineup and then using that lineup to play through events. For certain events that do give out points, you will be getting slightly more points per event. And then, of course, there are some hidden objectives that you might notice once you're playing through events, and those are, if you complete all of the events on the far left hand side, all of these rising star rookie events, you get 80 all-star points. Same goes for the right hand side. If you complete all 4 of those events, you get 80 points per day, and then if you complete all of the events along the bottom, you get some more points as well. Again, these are hidden objectives. They don't show up in any of the achievements or the objectives section of the game. They only pop up when you finish actually playing through the event. So make sure you're doing that. Gets you a couple more all-star points, which do certainly help you out. As you can see, I'm already at 3,260 points. I haven't done any of the sets at all, which are the gold mine when it comes to the promo, and we're already probably about a fifth of the way of getting a Luka Doncic, or a fifth of the way of getting Steph Curry, because the cheapest way of you being able to get yourself either LeBron or Giannis is buying the 289 masters. So say, for example, for LeBron, buying Steph Curry and Luka Doncic, that is going to cost me 30,000 points, and then buying either Giannis or Jokic, because of course that is the cheapest way of doing that. So that's another 20,000, which is 50,000. Then plus to get LeBron James is another 40,000. That is 90,000 points in total. That is the cheapest way of getting a LeBron James. Exactly the same for Giannis. So 90k points to get that Giannis Antetokounmpo, which is going to be a bit of a stretch no money spent, but it isn't impossible at all. Last year, lots of players were not only getting the Masters, but also the Grand Masters as well, completely no money spent. So it is doable, but you've got to put in that effort. You may also notice on the auction house, you can actually pick up these players. And if we go onto the auction house and we put on that filter, you'll notice at the moment there is just LeBron James and Giannis going for ridiculous prices. But later on, there will probably be a Steph Curry, a Luka Doncic on the auction house to get. If you do decide to pick them up from the auction house, you can, but it won't help you getting closer to LeBron James or that Giannis Antetokounmpo. As in, it won't count towards you getting 3 of the Masters from the set to then get LeBron James. Because if I buy Curry, Doncic, and Zion, that doesn't unlock the offer to get LeBron James. You actually have to get them from this section of the game. It's not by buying them on the auction house. So yes, you could buy them just to get that Curry or just to get a player from the other side of the Master that you're getting, but it won't help you in trying to get yourself LeBron James or Giannis, unless you are also going to buy them on the auction house as well. So of course you can just simply sell the players once you've got them. That might be a way of making a couple of coins here and there, or if you find any on the auction house, you snipe them, then you might be able to sell them on for a little bit more. But this is going to be a fairly fun promo. If you're willing to put in the effort, you will certainly get some good rewards. Let me know in the comment section down below, which one of these two Grandmasters are you going to try and get? Which one of the starters are you most excited to get? Let me know all of that in the comment section down below. And if you want to know exactly how you can get a ton of stamina in NBA Live Mobile, go check out the video in the bottom left hand corner, because trust me, as I've mentioned earlier, you will need a bunch of stamina in order to get the best rewards. So go check out that video, and I'll see you guys in that one. Peace.